All right, so let's talk DoorDash stacked orders. Is it another trap? Well, in this video, I like to share whether DoorDash stacked orders make you more money, why Dashers hate doing them, and finally, we're going to end with the biggest issue. Are they a DoorDash trap that can be more harmful than good? Now, before we even begin, I apologize because it's been pouring here and it hasn't stopped. So you're probably going to hear rain in the background. But anyway, so stacked orders are very tricky, but do they make you more money? Well, to me, it's a hard question to answer. I'll say some do. When anybody talks about stacked orders, and I'm talking some experts out there who think that they're DoorDash experts, think that, oh, they'll save you time. Oh, it's more money because you're doing two at one time. Well, to me, they're just like every other order. You have some good ones and you have some really bad ones. And later in this video, I'll get into why I think DoorDash tricks drivers in doing these, and it's not all what it's cracked up to be. But can they make you more money? Yes, they can. The reason why I'm doing this video is because lately, I don't know about you, you're going to have to let me know, I've been seeing a lot come through my offer screen. And some of them, I'm like, they're okay. I'll do it because I'm Platinum Dasher and I have to maintain acceptance rates. Would I have declined some of them if I didn't? Yes. Some of them have been really good that I'm like, score, this one's awesome. And then I've been wasting some declines on some of them because I'm like, there's no way in heck I'm ever doing this. It's a mixed bag when you really think about it, but there's no definite answer on whether you should do them or should not do them. You know, there are dashers out there that say decline every nonprofit one out there, decline ones that aren't going in the same direction, decline them altogether because they aren't really worth it. But what is the real? Well, the real is there's a lot of dashers like myself that are trying to maintain, and that really doesn't apply, right? If you're in the tier program, you're going to have to do them, especially if they come in your phone. Do you want to do them? No, I'm not. They're like my least favorite thing to do on the DoorDash platform. To me, they're somewhat annoying because a lot of times you have two pickups, you have two drop-off. It's a really rare occasion that you do two pickups and it's going to the same house. But the real is there's sometimes in order to make your money and maintain, you have to take them. And there's no such thing as, well, is it, the most profitable thing out there? No, they're not. And to DoorDash they are, which also we'll get into later in this video. But stacked orders, I go back to what they said in the beginning of this video. They're very tricky, and is DoorDash tricking its drivers into taking them by maintaining acceptance rates, knowing that they're going to be getting orders delivered? So why do Dashers hate them? Well, to me, they're a pain in the butt, to be honest. I don't know how you feel about them. Go ahead, let me know. But no one wants to do two different pickups, two different drop-offs, which means you have to go to two different restaurants and pray that both restaurants are ready to go, because if they're not, then you have to sit and wait for one, maybe even two. Even if you do worry-free cancellations, you just wasted 10 minutes and now you have to deliver two separate orders, or if you canceled one order, then you have customers who are like, where's my food? What's taking so long? And then you have to apologize or you get bad ratings, all because you're doing what DoorDash told you to do because you took a stacked order. I know that sounded like a lot, but that's another reel behind what we do with these orders. To me, maybe it's in my head, but I feel like it takes longer. And do we even talk about base pay, because yes, this changed a couple of years ago and I'm still salty about it. I'm not gonna lie. When base pay for doing 2 orders is $2, I call it the buy one get one free special, because you're only really getting paid to do $2 for 2 orders. Or you can look at it a different way, $1 per order. Thanks for the dollar, DoorDash. That's why I honestly hate them, because you're relying on the tips. The customer is funding DoorDash, if you think about it, doing these orders and getting them delivered. And it's usually the customer that is the best tipper. It gets the short end of the stick, but who gets the bad rating in the end? Oh, that would be the driver, because DoorDash cares about getting things delivered. So is this another DoorDash trap? In my opinion, yes. I think DoorDash tricks drivers into taking these orders, because if you don't, then you're bumped out of a tier system because you're using your declines on them. But what's their end goal, right? Their goal is to get every order delivered. And majority of the orders, I'm going to say majority because not all, but majority of the orders have a no tip, or a customer who doesn't care about the tip in that order. So you have one customer basically paying for the other customer's order to get delivered, because DoorDash disguises all of these types of orders in stacked orders. And as a Dasher, you don't know that until you go to deliver, and then you hit the little payout button, and then you're like, oh, this customer totally just shafted me. That's another reason why I hate stacked orders. DoorDash, in my opinion, traps drivers into taking these orders to get orders delivered, and they're really sneaky about it. And to give you an example, this is not my order. This is from a friend of mine, but I'm using it as an example because, this is literally the perfect example. Now, this person is a Platinum Dasher just like me, and they're like, Kim, look at this order, and they sent it to me. So here it is. Okay, so at $9.75, going 6.1 miles. 2 pickups, 2 drop-offs, no shock there. So go to deliver it, and this was the payout. The first customer that got the very first drop-off, 0. The second customer, who actually did a tip, was the last delivery. But you would never know that. That's the thing. DoorDash takes the control out of the Dasher's hands and puts it in their own to make sure that their agenda is being met at the expense of the driver. That's the trap. Is there anything you can do about it? No, unfortunately. DoorDash isn't transparent enough to tell you which one is which. Back in the day, you could tell which one is which, and then you can go ahead and unassign. But these days, even if you go to unassign, if you go down to below 90%, you get yourself deactivated. So they took that out of our hands too. So what it comes down to is, once again, these are very tricky, and whether you take them or not, that's your own decision. If you don't care about acceptance rates, you can decline until you want to. If you do care about acceptance rates, you're kind of stuck doing stacked orders until DoorDash changes anything, which I don't think is anytime soon. So what do you think about stacked orders? Do you like doing them? Do you hate doing them? Let me know what you think. Do you think that they are ultimately a trap of DoorDash trying to get these orders delivered and sneaks in no tips orders all the time to ensure that it does? You know, I've seen some absolutely ridiculous orders that we just talked about. Well, I saw the worst DoorDash order ever, and you're going to want to check this video out next, and I'll see you over there.